Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? Um, so thanks to a certain video that's on my popular list called Plunderers and jumping so high on my view count list, I wanted to give this game a platinum for me really just enjoying it, but also it being something that people, like almost 10,000 people are watching just because of a certain anime, and I love to get out games like these ones to people that who have no idea what there are or that they even exist, and if they get a chance to start playing it and enjoying it just because they saw some anime video that I was reviewing, that's so dope. So, regardless of all that, let's get right into Fire Force. Um, I am going to maybe make some people mad. I don't know. I'm not trying to make anybody mad, but it's just the first thing I started to think of as soon as some of this situation like started popping off was just the simple fact that um, this is Fire Force's like already like what? It's close to its first season finale and its first actual season, and they're already jumping into light speed feats, which, mind you, not only are this like light speed thing happening, they're making it realistic as of right now in the case of the opponent not being able to react to this, this speed, while at the same time it's being used in such an interesting way towards the end of this that I really did want people to just understand, like, we're looking at Naruto, almost Dragon Ball Z already levels of like feats where it comes down to, traveling at light speed, where you can't just say any character blitzes this main character in Fire Force anymore because he travels light speed. Now, the argument against him being, at light speed levels in the case of consistent, like, oh my god, he's doing this every time he did it, he had zero control. So imagine someone that can move at light speed, can see everything he's doing, and then just, actually punish him for doing it in the wrong ways. So I'm not saying he can beat Naruto and Goku because he can go light speed. I'm saying that the show itself has to now kind of fluctuate itself for any character to be able to keep up with our main character at his fullest. They have to already be exceeding light speed, right? Um, that's what I'm getting at here. Like, if you understand that, then there's not much more to explain, and you're getting what I'm going towards. But all I'm saying is, if someone like, for instance, Piccolo can keep up with Goku, and let's say Goku isn't fully trying, but he's moving at speeds human eye cannot keep up with, that's already a feat in itself, that Goku isn't at his full power and he's doing that. Now, take Fire Force and put them at their full powers, their full strength, and from what we can tell, he's still in a position where he thinks his brother has the upper hand. So I don't think that's why he's like, if I go next time, you better move. Like, he has no control over his body. He doesn't know what's gonna happen. The other thing about this is we have a scientist here as well to kind of confirm how fast he's moving and what the potential of his body moving that fast, and he could actually create a black hole because his whole entire body is like turning into such small, like a molecular level, that while he's doing that, he could, if he didn't for some reason be capable of bringing his body back to its present state on how it was before it started traveling, he would already been dead a long time ago. So there's some interesting power at work to make it available to him to do this multiple upon multiple times, where his body is being completely deconstructed so he can move faster and faster, which, all honesty, it makes sense that, this episode doesn't make uh, everything understandable for like an average viewer. I mean, if you're listening to what I said, you would think I would have more information about, the next level of this evolution that he just jumped into and can do, but there isn't. They were very vague about him getting into it. They had a character that, wasn't really the one experiencing it, but was there close enough to it to be able to tell you, how it could even be possible that this is happening, because he understood the person who, his brother who's stopping time. He's capturing all the heat, and then he's using it to extend his aura or whatever, which is a motionless world that he calls it, which I like that. Um, he's like, how did he move in my motionless world? Um, but the thing is, too, he also with powers to be able to stop time. Okay, time stopping abilities. I already had a good feeling that this show was going to go in this direction of some ridiculously overpowered stuff. You don't just have time stop for one of the main villains of your first season, and then you don't keep upping the ante as the show goes on. That just doesn't make sense, or that means you're going to end the show right here and now because you can't make your characters any stronger. Now, um, that's now my question with Fire Force is, if take care of this whole brother arc and we figure out how he's going to handle him, or if the brother just becomes a bigger problem as a whole, like he's someone he can't handle, like he's just someone that's out there. He defeats him, maybe stops the plan of most of the people within the group, but he can't capture his brother. He's just a constant within the world that at any time he can make another move and try to do something that's out of what the Fire Force stand for, I guess you can say. Um, but because of all this, that's why the show feels relatively um, good to me in the case of where they're taking the power, if they can handle it. Because now you've just jumped into the rabbit hole. You just said the main character could have caused a black hole because he was moving so fast. Not only that, he then starts getting the overheat, which is like the using fire way too much, your generation ability, and it messes you up. But there's two other big things that I just want to throw out there to you guys. I don't know how long this video already has been, or how long I even wanted it. So, regardless, let's keep talking. Um, he throws out this notion that if if he is traveling at that speed and he's doing all this, and his like whole entire being, his body is being broken down so it can move at that speed, and then reforming so he can do physical damage to his brother. If he's doing that while overheated and he gets exhausted throughout the process of breaking himself down, and he stops and like doesn't have a way to bring himself into his physical form again, he just dies and never exists. Like it's no big deal. And by hearing this, my man's actually gets this devilish little smile on his face, where even his brother's like, "Oh, that is you're making my stomach turn with that smile. Like, what the heck is wrong with you?" And he tells us it's not because he's nervous, but it's because he gets to finally play with his brother that is considered a miracle in his eyes, because he never believed his brother could have been alive after the situation that they were in, but he never lost hope that they could be out there. It's just that it was very unlikely. So to have something unlikely, a miracle almost happen to you, I guess I could understand the optimism of him. He's like, well, if this miracle happened, maybe I could pull another one. So I love that aspect. But the thing I was getting at is, with Lightspeed being in this show and so early in this show, that could really hurt it, or it could really strengthen it. It could make all these fights feel like all these characters who we've been watching. Like, for instance, the guy with the glasses, you're telling me that he now has to try to keep up with a light speed villain if he ever is with our main character and trying to help him out in a battle, you know? That's the type of stuff that they're kind of ushering out with this type of stuff, which is scary in its own just because I don't know how the other characters are going to complement this. And the last thing is the person who's watching the fight also and talking through it, and he's like, every time we talk, I wonder how many times they've hit each other, and I'm not even human, and I can't even tell. I'm not human, huh? So this is the thing that shows do so casually lately. It's they just dribble a little bit of sauce here and there, and once you get a taste of that sauce, you're like, have I tasted this sauce before? And then you find out, no, you never had this sauce because this sauce is extra zangy. And not only is it getting zangy with this food, I think it's time to talk about some food wars. You like that transition? No, but food wars coming up pretty soon here. I will have that dropping as soon as possible. But regardless, we have a non-human. We have our main character breaking, the sound barriers and going to light speeds. We are still pretty out there when it comes down to every other character still getting their moments in the case of do they all get stronger? Do they all get weaker? Does anybody else get stronger besides our main character? A lot of stuff still to come in Fire Force, I feel like, and we're just breaking the surface like a lot of people said when we saw the power scaling at the beginning, and I was very skeptical. They just told me keep giving it a chance. It'll be fun. Here I am. So thank you so much for those encouragements. Not only that, thank you Fire Force for actually just being entertaining. I mean, this whole knockdown brother battle this week was kind of getting drawn out with him still getting up every single time he was getting busted up in his face, and his brother really not taking a killing blow on him. They're both in a situation where they can't kill each other because they both need each other's flames, and one needs the flame for something else, to do something bad to the world, while his brother needs his flame so he can just be close to his brother. So you thought I was going to have a little twist there. No. But with all that being said, everybody, have an awesome day, night, evening. I can't wait to talk to you guys very soon here. Food War was pretty hyped, so I can't wait to talk about that and talk to you in the next one. So with that, peace.